Well, we're continuing our discussion about what to do when our hearts are overwhelmed. And last time we talked about the importance of identifying our calling and then staying in our anointing. Now today we come to the fourth step. And that was the third one, but the fourth step is really an extension of that third step, but I think it's important enough that I want to go ahead and make it its own step today. And that is simply this: if you're stressed out, accept your limitations and learn that you cannot do everything. You know, I think acceptance is a very important part of life. We have to accept circumstances that we don't like. We have to accept things that happen in our life that we wish would have gone a different way. There comes a point, whether it's in the grieving process or something else that we've gone through in life, there's a point out there, if we can't change the situation, that we either have to accept it or live in utter frustration. And God doesn't want any of us to be frustrated, and so we have to come to a place of acceptance. One of the things we have to accept if we're going to live peaceful, relaxed lives with minimal to no anxiety is we have to accept our limitations. In other words, there's something freeing about getting to a place in your own heart and in your own mind where you just say, you know, I can't do everything. But most of us find it hard to accept our limitations because we think we can do everything. You know, we think that if there's an assignment out there or a project out there or something that needs to be done, we can just go jump on that and do that and we'll just be fine. And that may be true in the short term, but eventually it's going to catch up with us. And so we have to accept our limitations. I heard a story years ago, I don't know if it's true or not, but the great Muhammad Ali was on an airplane and the plane was getting ready to taxi down the runway and take off, and he didn't have his seatbelt on. And so the flight attendant came to him and said, "Sir, please fasten your seatbelt." And he kind of looked up at her. He was kidding, but he looked up at her and said, "Superman don't need a seatbelt." And she looked down at him and said, "Superman don't need a plane." And so what she was saying to him, if you're Superman, you don't even need to be in this plane. Superman just flew wherever he wanted to go. Well, it says to us that no matter how powerful we are, and Muhammad Ali is probably, he and Michael Jordan, two greatest athletes in American history, I guess. So he was a powerful man in his day. But even he had to have an airplane to get from point A to point B. He wasn't Superman. Michael Jordan is not Superman. And neither am I, and neither are you. You're not Superman, you're not Superwoman. And so to me, there's something freeing when you get to a place in your life where you just accept your limitations and you say, you know what, I wish I could do more, but I just can't. I can't do it. Listen, nobody can do everything. Everybody can do something, but nobody can do everything. And so today's devotional is going to be short because it's kind of an extension of what I said last time, but it's important enough that I identify this as one of the 12 steps in the booklet. Accept your limitations. And sometimes we have to say no. Sometimes we have to say, I wish I could. Sometimes we have to say, maybe one day I will be able to. Maybe life will slow down and out there somewhere, I'll be able to do that. But accept your limitations and get comfortable in your own skin. You know, I think one reason that we don't accept our limitations is because, you know, and at least I'm this way, I always want to please people. I mean, it's important, you know, sometimes you hear somebody say, well, I just don't care what anybody thinks about me. Well, I'm not wired up that way. I do care what people think, and I have a hard time saying no, and, you know, I always want to do what I can. And yet I've had to learn in life that, hey, I'm not Superman either, and so I have to accept my limitations. And by doing that, it has helped me to become comfortable in my own skin and to say, you know what? Man, that person seems to be doing a lot more than I am, or they do it a lot better than I do, or they seem to be able to juggle more things at one time than I'm able to juggle. But for me, I just have accepted my limitations. And it kind of gets back to that calling. You see, when I say accept your limitations, what I'm really saying is accept your calling. Accept the fact that God hasn't called you, nor does He expect you to do more than you can do. I heard Adrian Rogers years ago, one of the greatest pastors who ever lived. He's in heaven now. But he said, God will never give us more to do in a given day than we can do gracefully. And so in a given day, if you're saying, well, I don't seem to be doing this very gracefully, I seem to be stressed out and, just about to pull my hair out. Well, then you're doing something God didn't give you to do. Accept your limitations and learn to say no and learn to do less. And that's going to help you not to be so overwhelmed. I look forward to being with you next time. Have a good day.